Now, first thing I want to talk about here is how to get the thread on the hook. I think we're ready for that. And what you want to do, start your thread in the middle of the hook, wrap it forward, and then come back over that same thread. Now, I know that wasn't quite clear, so why don't we go into the studio where we can really see what's going on. Now, first of all, I know most people wrap overhand, but you know, I feel the need to let you know how I wrap. I wrap under. My name's OC, and my raps go under. My hand's so fast, I'll throw you a wonder. Am I a superhero from outer space? Here to put a beat down on the whole human race. Alright, now let's just turn that vise into place. Make sure it's good and tight. And let's try wrapping that thread on again. Now, just so you guys know, I did change vices here just for our filming sake. Make it a little easier for us. So once again, we're going to start this thread right in the middle of the hook there or so. And we're going to take some nice open turns towards the front of the hook. And then we're going to wrap right back over those. This time not quite so open. And we're going to go right back to the back of the hook. Here, get some practice making some smooth turns with that bobbin. Let's see that again in super slow-mo. We took a few wraps forward, open wraps, make it easy. And we're going to come right back over those towards the back of the hook. Now let's cut that tag in and continue wrapping towards the bend of the hook. Nice, smooth, even wraps. Become one with your bobbin. Let's just keep wrapping here to get a feel for it. Let's bring it right back up to the front of the hook. Now look around in your kit or your materials. You should have some tinsel. What I'm going to use is just a medium tinsel, gold on one side, silver on the other. Very basic. You should have something like this that you can practice here with. Now let's cut off about 6 inches or so of this tinsel to give you something to work with. And just lay it up there against the hook. Just pinch it against the hook. And just take a few wraps over that. Now I'm tying this on with the gold side up. Actually, yes, I'm tying on with the gold side up. The reason I do that is so that when we wrap it, the other side, we'll see the other side. We'll actually see the silver side. So just practice getting some wraps with this now. We're wrapping it towards the back of the hook. And try to be careful not to overlap or leave gaps. Practice making nice, smooth, side-by-side wraps with the tinsel. Take it all the way back to where the bend of the hook starts. Now let's wrap this tinsel back towards the front of the hook now. Just make a nice smooth transition. Again, we're not trying to overlap. We're not trying to leave gaps. This will help make a nice smooth body for whatever fly you're trying to tie. And you see, I left myself plenty of tinsel to make it easy. Don't cut it too short. Now we get back up here. Hold the tinsel up. Reach around with your other hand. And bring that bobbin up over the hook. Now the weight of the bobbin will help hold the tinsel right where it is. Now you want to be careful here with tinsel because it will unravel on you if you don't tie it off properly. Let's clip that off. We'll take a few extra turns here just to tie that down. Some of you may be fortunate to have something like this in your fly tying kit, but if not, it may look something like this. In either case, you'll be able to tie this fly, just not as many if this is what you have. Select some of the white. Just pull some off and cut it off. Let's go. And I'll hold it up here and get rid of some of these shorter fibers that we don't want. Let's just lay that on the hook there. Now here we can talk about our pinch technique. Now if I was just tying this on like I did the tinsel and I didn't use a pinch technique, the thread tends to push the fibers out of the way. Can't really get it locked down on the hook where we want it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring that thread straight up, and I'm going to pinch it there between my thumb and index finger. And then I'm going to drop the bobbin straight down and pull straight down on those fibers. And that pretty much locks them into place. Let's take a couple of turns on that to really lock it in. Hair's a little harder to lock into place than some other materials. Now I'll come back in with scissors and cut off this excess up front. Just grab a hunk of this red. It doesn't matter what color you have for our purposes. Just grab, if you have some red or yellow or purple, whatever comes in your kit, just grab some of that to go with the white. Again, cut off enough that you can cover the whole hook with it. Got some red, look at that, isn't that nice? We'll pull off those shorter fibers out of there. And we'll lay that right on top of the white. Again, we're going to need to use that pinch technique. Got a little more hair here this time. Straight up, pinch it between your thumb and index finger, straight down. Get a couple of good wraps on that so it doesn't go anywhere. Just trim that off. Now if you have a kit, you probably have some peacock that looks like this. They're all relatively uniform, and it's great for most applications, but it's nice if you actually have a feather, because then you have all this varying uniformity. You can add a little originality to flies. So we're just going to collect 3 strands of keep peacock curl. Make sure they're long enough to cover your hair, and lay them right up there on top. Once again, let's practice that pinch technique. Up, pinch between the thumb and index finger, straight down. Get a few turns on it. And let's cut off this excess. And let's clean all that up a little bit. Hold on to it so it doesn't spin. Go all the way up to the eye of the hook there. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this fly off now. Don't get discouraged if you don't get this the first time, because in just a minute I'm going to use a larger thread. I'm going to scale everything up and slow it down so that you can actually see what's going on a little easier. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do to lock this thread in place is I'm going to do a half hitch here, which means I'm going to, for the direction that I turn the thread, which is under the fly and then back over the top of it, I need to come behind the thread. And I'm going to form a little loop here. Now what I'm doing is I'm coming, let's do that again, I'm going to come underneath, my tag end is going to come underneath the main line there, and I'm going to pinch it right on top. That allows me to put my finger right there. Then I'm going to grab my bobbin, open up that loop. Now that half hitch is going to help hold your thread from unraveling. It'll give you a chance to cut your bobbin off so that you can do this whip finish here. This is how we're going to tie the fly off. Now I'm showing you this without any kind of tools so that you can have an idea of the mechanics involved. And again, you're going to see this a little closer in just a minute. So put your fingers back behind the thread just like with the half hitch. And it's really important to pinch the thread this time, because you're going to bring your index finger and your thumb together to hold that thread. That's what's going to tie down your tag end. Now let's just take a few turns with that. You just need a few to hold that thread down. Again, reach for your needle or bobbin, whatever you have, and pull on that tag end to close the loop. Now, I like to cut this off with a razor blade just so I get a nice close cut to the hook, nice and clean. Scissors work fine, it's just a personal preference. Now we'll add a little fly head cement. Well, so what we've made here is a streamer, a bucktail streamer, which is typically used to imitate a minnow. We have the dark color on top, which most minnows do have. It kind of goes along with their camouflage. We have a little color in the middle, and of course we have our lighter colors on the bottom, just as most bait fish have. And it's nice to be able to see your fly from all these different angles, so you can kind of see if your proportionality works.